Hello everybody and welcome to game 2 of this series. Spawning on the right side of Antigua Shipyard, the Blue Terran currently down 0-1 to Stephano. He is MVP. And the victor of the last series, the Pink Zerg, in the leftmost portion of Antigua Shipyard. He is Stephano, up 1-0 and probably feeling pretty good. And leftmost is a word that I have just made up and I will continue to use it in the time to come. So we're going to be here on Antigua Shipyard, game number 2. Of course, this is a best of 3, also from Iron Squid 2. If Stephano wins this game, the series will end. MVP will be the loser of this series, and Stephano will take home a 2-0 victory against MVP, which is something to write home about. If I beat MVP and I happen to be away from home, I wouldn't even call. I would write a letter. I would mail it home. I would buy a stamp. I would get classic, because that is something that deserves to be down in writing. I don't want it to just be lost verbally. It needs a record. Now, MVP is going to be walling off again here. Stephano, of course, will be going for that 15 hatch. Antigua Shipyard, not a map Zergs like, which is probably why MVP picked it. Of course, we saw him go for that mech style on Ohana, which it isn't terrible on either. Mech really benefits from a lot of close-together bases. If you can get a good tank count and get that kind of locked down, just like it will here on Antigua and like it would on Ohana, you can lock down a pretty sizable area with your mech army, and it's very hard to penetrate. Now, that is why Stephano's aggression was so beautiful on Ohana. He knew exactly what MVP was going for. The moment he scouted that second factory, he started producing roaches and did not stop the entire game because he knew he could not let his opponent pick up any steam. It's a dangerous position to be in. So very good call there from Stephano. It did end up working, and MVP is probably going to go for mech again here because there is no better map to mech on than Antigua. If you can get this base and you can put your army in the middle, the game is just in your hands. You can move it as you like, decorate it, paint it however you want it. It's up to the Zerg to try to mess things up. So, Stephano being aggressive, definitely a good thing to do. We'll see what he does here on Antigua. I mean, he's got to know MVP's got to be thinking the same thing that was just said. Mech is good. Why don't we try that again? Because if anyone's got experience, it's certainly going to be MVP. So we're going to see the command center first, with barracks follow up as well. Pretty much the same thing we saw in that last game. Nothing too crazy. Stephano here actually getting a pretty quick gas here on the Antigua Shipyard. Not the quickest, not like crazy quick, but still pretty quick. So he's going to be able to get Zergling speed a lot faster than normal, of course. And it's not going to be your standard 4 to 6 queen opening. Now he may get those queens anyway, because he knows MVP likes that Banshee play. He knows he went for the Cloak Banshee last time. And he's probably studied his play style quite a bit. But we'll have to see what Stephano does with this. So once he gets that 100 gas, he can get that very fast link speed. Could even go for Quick Lair, maybe go for Nidus, but that's just me getting a little bit excited. I really do like, though, how the metagame is changing. Even this close to Heart of the Swarm. I mean, God, we're only 3 months away at this point, a little longer, as I cast this game on December 30th. But we're still seeing brand new strategies and new things to do. And oh, it's actually going to be a Roach Rush from Stephano. No fast link speed, no fast lair. Is he going to be able to deny the scout by MVP, though? MVP coming in with this SCV. And honestly, if he scouts this, I think Stephano's going to cancel. Oh my God, is he not going to scout it? No, he did not see that Roach Warren. Can we get the instant replay? Just kidding. We can double check, though. And no, he did not scout the Roach Warren. He did scout the gas, though, and he knows how much was mined. But no, okay, the spawning pool was dancing there. Okay, number one, MVP is going to be on his guard right now. He saw the gas. He knows how much was mined. He knows that shenanigans could possibly be afoot. Now, Stephano here mapped this out perfectly. He's going to be able to get 7 or 8 roaches, depending on how many larvae he has. And it looks like with the rest of them popping, as soon as he has the minerals, yes, there we go. So, 7 roaches. It's a 7 roach rush build. And this is so dangerous for a Terran. Especially considering how few units he's going to have as he's in the midst of transitioning to that Hellion production. So he's going to have 2 Hellions, but unless I'm mistaken, a Hellion takes 30 seconds to build, Marine takes 25. So Hellions do take longer than Marines, which means, you know, he's going to have less units than he normally otherwise could. We're going to have a few links here. We're going to have some Roaches coming up from Stephano. And obviously Hellions are not particularly good against Roaches, but MVP is getting a wall up. This is a very defensible position if he can get that wall up. He's going to have to lift and pull his SCVs, or maybe he can hold the bunker, but honestly, he's probably going to have to retreat to the high ground. Now, this isn't a Roach Baneling all-in. That would come a bit later and obviously be much more powerful, but the 7 Roach Rush is huge, and he needs to get him to lift the expansion or at least kill quite a few SCVs if Stephano wants to make it worth it. Right now, he's 6 Harvesters behind his opponent, now producing 6 more drones, so he will even out, but you don't want to be even with the Terran. You want to be ahead. Otherwise, you could find yourself in a pretty bad situation. Now, a few Hellions going to come up, but he's going to see all these roaches from Stephano, and Stephano's going to get some free shots off there. The SCVs are going to be pulled and go for a surround on this bunker, but is it going to be enough? The SCVs are doing a lot of repair. The mules are going to get picked off. There's so many roaches here from Stephano. He's trying to focus down those SCVs. There's only 2 Marines in this bunker. There is not a lot of damage going down. These roaches just refuse to die, just like their real-life kin. And now it looks like that bunker is going to go down. MVP is going to be forced to lift off. Right now, he wants to see if he can goad Stephano into attacking the command center and wasting a little more time. Obviously, attacking it won't do anything. Taking down the supply depots is a little bit of annoying, but the most damage that Stephano is going to be able to do is here in the main. And right now, he is going to get knocked away. Hellions aren't particularly good against roaches, but when you clump them all together and just paint them with those flames, they do take a lot of damage. But now, oh, is MVP overextended here? How many workers has Stephano killed? 13 so far. This pressure has been absolutely beautiful, and now MVP with that Marauder production, that is really going to help him clean up these roaches. He's going to try to get one more SCV. It looks like he is going to get it, and maybe be able to get this Hellion too, but no. Finally, the roaches are going to get cleaned up, but not before taking out another SCV, bringing the total killed to 16. We have the third CC up and running here for MVP, so we will be able to do that production a little bit better again, but now, look, he's behind by 25 workers. Not as bad as he was last game, but, you know, this early in the game, these things do snowball. And I'm not going to say at all that that is not a bad spot to be in. Or no, wait, no, that's right. Basically, he's in a bad spot is what I'm saying. Now, if we take a look at his base here, it looks like he skipped the Cloak Banshee and actually does have double E-base. So he is going to be going for a bio-based build here on Antigua. Probably not what Stephano is expecting. We see the Hellions are going to come up here and get knocked away by their roaches. Stephano's lair is on the way. He does have a macro hatch here as well. So instead of taking a third, he's taking the macro hatch because, of course, all those roaches did get cleaned up. Any sort of counterattack by MVP could probably deny a third pretty easily. MVP still more than double behind the worker count of Stephano. Now Stephano's going to be coming up here with the roaches, and when it's just Hellions on the field, you really don't have to worry about losing your roaches. Unless you're going like all the way over here, then the Hellions can kind of chase them home. And he came up here and he saw... oh, that's not his vision, excuse me. Let's see what he saw. Okay, so he saw the tech lab, but he doesn't know it's switched off to the factory. Does MVP have stim? Yes, he does. So basically what I'm saying is, what I was getting at is, doesn't really have to worry too much about losing the roaches to the Hellions, but the Marauders, yes, could absolutely chase them down. Now, Stephano is getting roach speed. He's getting +1/+1, so he's definitely going to go heavy on the roaches, but MVP is kind of being tricky here. I mean, he's getting the double melee, or the double bio upgrades. He's going into bio. This is something Stephano is completely unaware of, and he probably really does expect mech on Antigua. The tech lab on the barracks isn't too much of a surprise because MVP likes to mix in those Marauders. He even did it last game. So I think Stephano was still expecting